Hello friends, welcome to web design full course. In this tutorial, we're going to make a responsive website sidebar for our website page. It's usable and useful for mobile apps such as Android app, iPhone, iPads, and it's usable and extendable, which you can use it on the website page as well. It is in this tutorial we will learn how to make a responsive sidebar. At the end of this video, you will be able to create this responsive and this extendable and this pretty cool sidebar for your website page. Please subscribe my channel, and you will watch the other videos about web design as well. Let's get started and design this sidebar by CSS and JavaScript. So let's go inside the HTML file. We can add a basic HTML file inside the tag type element as a tag type element. We can call this tutorial by the name of responsive sidebar at programming code camp. We can link this tutorial with CSS file and others box icons. And now inside the body element we can make a sidebar like this, and div element is equal logo hyphen content. And now we are gonna make a logo as div element, and inside this logo we just can add some icons as tag element. Under this tag we are going to add some image. We can write img as the image element, and inside the img element we can add the image and picture as png format. Source is equal image. Inside the image folder we can add some picture and image as png format. And now we just make a class by the logo name. We can call this title by name programming code camp, and we can add the image like this as the image which we have is saved inside the folder as the image folder. Now we can add this folder inside this image element, and we can add its icon as png format by can copy from Google site. We can write down on the side of Google box icons, and we can copy that icons format by the name of box icon menu as a menu icon, and we can paste inside this the tag element. It's a PNG format. Now we are going to make a list inside the this div element. We can write an UL element, and class is equal nav underscore list. And now we are going to make a list inside this div element. Can write an ul dot nav underscore list, and inside this element we can add some icons, and can input a search button, search space. And now we're gonna to make a span element. Now we just make an input, a search button, a search space, input element, type is equal to text, placeholder is gonna search is the search space inside for the website page. And now we can make a span class, span element. Inside the span class is equal we can write down for this span.length underscore name, and inside this span element we can write down search as is the search title by the name of and we can copy this one, and now we should paste to make a second dashboard for our title, which we show inside the list sidebar or the sidebar. We can paste inside this div and tag element. It's the inactive element. We will talk about this in the next of this video, and we will active this one in the next. So now just copy this one and we can paste under this tag element. We can inside the element, inside the each tag element, href is equal number. We can paste these those codes which we have copied, and now we can paste, and we can call the second by the name of user, and on tag element cross is equal. We will talk about this tag element in the next. Now we can paste around 4, 5 and 7 titles, and we will change their titles and names in the next. So now we should run this program, and we'll see a change what we done up to now. You can see it's the dash. Those titles are the same by the name of dash. We can change their names. We can call each of them separately by the first one and the second one. The first one is about the search button, and the second one and the third one by the user. The second one the third one by the dashboard, where you should have called the dashboard. We'll talk about this dashboard. What jobs this icon, this title does in the sidebar, and the other icons which we will talk about this, and we will bring some change. And for this title by the name of for example analytics is dashboard. It has got a separate dashboard, and this dashboard class is equal. This span is separate span element, which is class is equal tooltips, and inside this span we have got dashboard. We can run now with this. We can see this change which we have here inside this HTML page. You can see the change, and now go ahead inside that first we should copy some icons from box icon size like this, and paste its title icon. You can it's the title of those it's the icons of those title which would be responsive inside the sidebar. And you can see these titles which we have made the analytics, message, user. You can see this change. We have created this title sidebar. Is the sidebar. Then we can now active this dashboard. Is the second name, the second title of the first title, which would be shown on the sidebar. And you can see you can change their titles, and you can call another names and you can give another titles for the dashboard. and you can change for the first one, for the first second one, for the all of them you can change. For example, the first one you can do the user for by this change, you can change this by the user account. The first one dashboard is dashboard. You can see this change. Message, from the message, analytics, and you can see this change. And for example, orders, purchasing, or for example pricing, at cars. For dashboard you can give this total, and for the save for the setting you can bring change, and you can give a total for dashboard total, and you can make another dashboard for the responsive sidebar, for the sidebar titles. And now you can see that at the last one, the setting, we have got the setting titles, span class is equal to tooltips, and this side the default span element you can call, for example, setting is the dashboard. So what jobs this dashboard will do in the sidebar? It's just when we make small the dashboard. This is the second dashboard which will be appear in the sidebar, and you can see those titles, and the first title, the first icons will be hiding. Like you can see inside this HTML which we have created such a dashboard, such an element. We'll talk about, we design this title, the icon by CSS file. We will talk about this in the next of this video. In the CSS section, we will talk about, we will design those titles or those sidebar which we have created by HTML files. So now if we run the program, we can see this there is a sidebar which we have created. It's located inside the left side of the left side of page. You can see those. We should change and should select is size as width size and height size, which we have designed and selected is called is the size. You can see it's the programming column is the profile picture of this sidebar page. So now we should make a profile content. For this one, we can write down div or dot profile icon content. So it's the profile content is another section which we are going to make it would be located inside under this at the end of as a footer section of this sidebar. You can see the second the element dot profile, and we just make a profile details. Inside the profile details, inside the div element, we just add some picture, some profile picture for our profile content. For this one, you can write an image is equal, href is source is equal. From image folder, we can add this PG picture, and now we just make a class by the name of name underscore job. Inside the name underscore job, so this element we just make a title by the name, for example, web designer. For the div class is equal name. Inside this div element, you can call this the username, the user job. The username is the one web designer, and its job by the name for web designer. You can call this and the second element by the name of job. for the job we can call this job by the name of web design editor or web designer. It doesn't matter which one you can write for this one. And end of this video, you gonna to make a title, for example, or you can add some icons as logout of icons. For this one, you just can add some icons as logout. For this one, you can write, for example, div element class is equal log underscore out, and id is equal logout. It's logout icons. You can add its icons. You can copy its icon from Google site, from box icon site, and you can paste inside the tag element. You can see if you refresh the page, you can see the interest of this page is the profile content which we have created for our sidebar. So now the tag element, and for home content, which we make a div element by name home content, which we just are going to make a home content for this one. If you refresh program, you can see the change. So you can see this change, which we have created. That home content is the sidebar page, responsive sidebar, and now we should come back to profile content. For this one, you can call this one so inside the script element, you can write down let png the equal document dot query selector. Inside the JavaScript is a script element, is query selector. Inside the bracket, you can write down number btn. You just make active the button which we have created. We have created a button icons inside the HTML file. For this one, a second one, let sidebar is equal document dot query selector. Inside the bracket, you can write down dot sidebar. Is the for activate of sidebar. We can write down dot sidebar, and we can copy this one. We can write down let search btn and equal to document dot query selector as the first one. Inside the bracket, we can write down inside the double quotation, we can write down box hyphen search. It just make active the search button which we have made for sidebar. And second script, we have got btn dot onClick. It's equal to function. It just do the function. OnClick, the button should be equal to function, which be by on click it should be extend. And for this one, you can write down sidebar dot class list dot toggle. And for this one, we just make active this sidebar by on click. For this one, we can write down inside the bracket. We just inside the bracket, we just write down active inside the quotation. Just write on active. It's just for that purpose which button should be active. For this one we can copy this button, this class list, the sidebar, and we can paste that and make the second by the name of search button. The first one is button and the second one is the search button. For this one we can write search button. B is the capital word, dot on click and equal function. For this one it is just for activating the class list one sidebar. For this one we should write the bracket and close the open the set. Inside the set we can write on sidebar dot class list dot toggle. Inside the quotation we just copy the active total, which that is the attribute is the active which we have done and we have created inside this sidebar. For this you can see by clicking on each of them icons it became extend. And now you can change this titles. You can change this by clicking inside the quotation or inside the bracket. You can write down, for example, inside in place of button you can do search bar, no matter which one, and you are going to make the sidebar, and you can design each of them separately by JavaScript. You should save this one. You can see this. It's the title. It's a menu bar. Sidebar is the home content. It's a picture of home content by a web designer, web editor, and for designing and for formatting this codes which we have coded inside the HTML file. We should come to the CSS file. For this one, store is equal inside this. Padding should be 0, margin should be 0, boxes should be border box, and we have got the body element. We should design this. For body inside the set, we can position is equal relative, and for margin space, min height should select the min height of this sidebar, or this. We can write down, we can select 150, which is the height size of this one, and which should be 100%, and overflow should be hidden inside the body of this sidebar. For this one, we can select, and now we should go ahead inside the HTML file. And for the sidebar, now we are going to design the sidebar. For position, we can select for this one fixed. It should position to fixed of the title, fixed in the page, in the left of the side page, and for the top space should be 0. We can see, and the left space should be 0, and height should be like this 100%, and this should be this pixel, and color, background color should be this one. And padding space for the top and from the bottom should be 6 and 14 pixel. And transition should be 0.2. And now we can design this logo content logo. Color should be like this. The display should be flex. The height should be 50 pixel, and width of this logo should be 100%, and line item should be center. Opacity for this one should be 0. And pointer event should be none, and transition should be 0.2 for each one of those icons. So now we have got the logo I dot logo content dot logo I tag element. For this one we just select its full size, if it should be 28 pixel, and margin from right, margin space from right should be 5 pixel for this one. And logo we can copy this one now and paste inside here. And for the design of dot logo dot logo content inside the set, we can copy the logo content. We just copy this one and we can paste to the CS file inside the set. Just now design its its full size, which size should be for this one. And now we can select its font size around 20 pixel for this one, for logo content, and font weight should be around 400 for this one. And now inside the CS file, now we just copy this sidebar and paste inside here. Dot sidebar. We just designed the button, which we have created the button icon. We just now designed this button. This format position should be absolute, color should be white color, left from its space should have 90%, top space should be 6 pixel on the top, and font size, width and height should be this pixel. Text alone should be center. Is the button icons we designed, and transition should be like this. And now we just should select the I tag element. For designing this I tag element, we just copy it from HTML file, and now inside the CS file we should paste inside here. At the first we can write down it's which we have copied inside from HTML file. We can write down sidebar active. Now we are going to format this button. This sidebar should be active, and left space should be 90% for this one. And for sidebar dot sidebar, we can copy this one, and for this element, UL element, we have got the UL element. We just write down dot sidebar and UL element. Inside the set, we can design its margin space. We can select its margin space for margin from the top. Margin space from the top should be this pixel, around 20 pixel for this one. And we can write dot sidebar ULLI. We are going to design the list for this one. We just write down the position should be relative, height and weight should be this pixel and percent, and margin space should be 0 from the top and the left, bottom, and 5 pixel from the top, left and right. And now we are going to design these codes for this sidebar. We just have got the sidebar active. We just design its width size around 240 pixel is the sidebar, which we are going to make is active. For the design its we can write down sidebar dot active dot logo content dot logo. For this one opacity, for this one should be 1, and which we are going to design this pointer event. For this one we can write down, for this one we can select none, and should copy this one sidebar URL list. And now come back URL dot we just copy this one, a link this tooltips. For this one, you can write tooltip. Open the set. Inside the set, we just can design this one for this tooltip. We can select position should be absolute, left space should be 122 pixel for this one, top space should be this one, transform should be translate this 50 pixel, and background should be this background, and height and width should be this pixel, and text alone should be this in the center, and border should be 6 pixel for this one, and background color should be this one. Transition should be 0, and display should be block. We can select opacity. Its opacity should be 0 for this one, and it's the format of this. We can color. We can change its color, and we can change its border radius from 6 pixel. We can change it to from rectangle to circle. And now we just copy our tag element, which we have got the icons. We can design it by CS file. For this one, we just come back to CS file, and for design of this icons and this element, we just can write and one thing you should notice display should be blocked. It means the responsive sidebar should be when they be extend or be small. This should be blocked by which we click on. When we click on the button, it would be expensive, and it would be extend and become a large scale by clicking. We can select this hover, sidebar.ul hover. We just design this, copy this one. The allow is hover. You can select transition should be this one, opacity should be 1, and top space should be 50% from the top. And we can copy this one. We can change it. Just write down .active. Just make active this one. And for this one, we can write down. We can design its display should be none, and opacity it does not have any opacity. We just can write down sidebar active. I've got the sidebar active, and now we can write down .sidebar.uli. For this one, we just copy this input element. For this one, you can design its position should be absolute, height should be this one, weight should be this person, left space and top space should be 0, border radius should be 12 pixels for this one, outline should be none, and border should be none, and color, background color should be this one color, padding left from the left space is this space from the left should be 50 pixels for this one, and font size we can select is font size inside the input element around 20 pixels for this one, and as white color you can select the white color for inputs at which be font or image or any other inputs element. We have got the link element links underscore name inside this element, and now we just change its color to another color. And now we are going to design this box search. For this one, we can write a .sidebar, you will write .box search. Inside the set, you just can select for position should be absolute. As a box search icon, we can select, and Z index for this we can select the Z index should be auto. And for this one you can select 99 for this one, and font size should be 22 pixel for this one. Transition should be like this. And sidebar ULLI box search for this way for background, so call background and color. We can color, we can select this color, and background color is the font color and the background color. We can select two kinds of color for those hover for that box search. And now we are going to design this e-tag element. So the e-tag element color should be this color, display should be flexed, align item should be center, all titles should be the center of this sidebar, and text decoration should none, and transition we can select 0.4 second for this one. And I've got the sidebar UL allow, and a hover. For this hover we can select this color, select this color is the font color, and for the background color we can select this color as well. And the sidebar UL tag element height and main height should be this one, border should be this one. And now we are going to make the design this sidebar. We've got this element as link elements, and for this one we've got the sidebar dot links. For the opacity should be 0, pointer event should be auto, and transition should be 0.2 for this one. And the sidebar dot links underscore name, we just make active this sidebar. Copy this one and paste inside here. For opacity we can select one opacity for this links name. And also about the profile content, we can design this profile content. Position should be absolute, and color and bottom space and left space and weight space should be 100% for this one. You can copy this one and you can paste inside, and just can write in dot profile. We are going to design and format profile title for the open set. Inside this we can write and position should be this one, and padding space should 10 pixel and 6 pixel, and height space should be 60% for pixel for this one, and background color should be this one color, and transition should be 0.4 second for this one. And it's the design of this profile content and profile picture or profile user. For this one you can select and you can format, and you can select and you can select this space from the left. And we are going to make this sidebar, this profile active. For this one we just copy this and write this active dot active. Inside the set for background we can select it does not have any background, we can select for this one none. And now we copy this one profile content dot profile content dot profile dot for profile details. For this one we can open the set. We are going to design the profile details. Display should be flex, align item should be center, and opacity should be 0 for this one. Pointer event should be none, and white space should be none. You can change it and you can select this for those codes and design it as that profile details. And now we are going to make this sidebar as this profile details, make active this one. For this one we just dot active, excuse me for the mistakes spell. Opacity should be 0 and pointer event should be auto for this one. And profile dot profile details for this one we just we're going to design the image for this one, for image of profile content. Height should and weight should be for the 5 pixel for those. Object face should be cover, and maybe name object, name job for the design this one. Imagine if should be 10 pixel, and dot we can change this name and name jobs and name. You can design those, and for the job, for example, font size and font weight should be 15 pixel and 40, and for this one font size should be 12 pixel for this one. And for profile content, we have got the profile content. Now we're going to design this one. We have got logout icon for designing this logout. You just write at the profile, the number logout. For this one, we just design this one. For this position should be absolute, left space 88 pixel, and person and bottom space should be 5 pixel. Translate X should be this one, 50% main width and line height should be this pixel. Font size should be 20 pixel, and border should be 12 pixel. Center and transition should be this, and background should it does not any background. We can select it does not any background. For this one, select none for its background. We just try to design this profile content and just make it this profile active. This for this one, we just write down dot sidebar dot active profile number logout for this one. For the first one 88%, and for the second one, the first one is the logout, and for the second one we just make active the profile of this one. For the left space, and for the second one the background, select for the its background. We can select this background for this one. And now we are going to format this home content. For this one, we can copy this one dot home content, open the set. We can select this position should be absolute, height space should be 100%, and width should be this per 100 240 pixel for this one. Left space should be 78 per pixel for this one, and transition should be this one 0.2. And dot home content dot text. Now we're going to format this text. For this one, we just select its font size. For this one, its font size should be 12% for this one. And for margin, font height and color, font width and font color. For color, just select its color as well. This color and margin space should be 12%. And we have got the sidebar dot active the home content. Its width should be called inside the bracket. Just write down 100% hyphen 240 pixel for this one. And for left space should be 240 pixel for the left space inside the page. You can design this one. After saving, you can run and can refresh the program. Just search and focus on the course.